All right, well, welcome to this week's special episode of the CB Show. Last week, actually, I believe the last 2 weeks, Chris was without me. And so here I am without Chris, but I drug old Bobby Taylor on set, as everybody knows Bobby. So, warm welcome for Bobby. Thank you very much for coming. But, obviously people know who you are, especially if they've come to orientation in the last couple of years. But for those that have not, Chris had you on a little while ago and roasted you, had a couple of personal questions about that. So I'm not going to waste our time doing that again. If everybody wants to stop and see you like they do, they just stop and talk with us. But, we're going to just do CB Show, and then Bobby and I are going to sit and talk about basically the company as a whole and which direction we're heading and what habits and accidents we're seeing and things like that. So let's get right into the favorite segment.
The Weekly Update.
So this week we had 6 total drivers. We had 2 from PA, which were Brian and Sean. We had Luke, Dale, Michael from Virginia, and Caven from North Carolina. So I'd like to welcome all of them. Welcome, boys. Welcome, family. Again, as I've always said, when you see an unfamiliar face, introduce yourself, and maybe you can help them out. Maybe they help you out. See how that all goes. We do have the referral cards, and definitely want to make sure we're getting them, so that way you get credit for referring a driver. And I think the last thing we always talk about, it's not too late to grab a calendar. So if you're out and about, grab a calendar. This week I believe, did we have one DOT? We had one DOT reportable. It was not our fault. We ended up getting rear-ended, and so that's a DOT reportable. But no lost time injuries this week. So good week overall. But that's our update. And I'm actually just kind of excited. We do have one major event coming up Monday.
We do.
But until we get into that, basically I just want to let Bobby handles almost every accident day to day now. When he's busy, I get one, or some of the older guys are still calling me, which is perfectly fine. We work together. Bobby and I work together with everything. The layout in our office is very nice. And if anybody hasn't stopped in and saw us, we have a sliding window in between us, which really should just be an open hole in the wall because it's open all day long, and we talk about everything that we have going on. But Bobby, what are you seeing? What do you think is like a big habit or the major small dings? I mean, where you see a lot of small things.
So a lot of them are violations for, a lot of it's trailer. Trailer tires or air leaks that are being caught. It seems also our accidents are trending more on the upward on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I don't know why all of a sudden Wednesdays are coming into a factor. I don't know if it's the midweek rush or...
and it's interesting it is Wednesday because normally, like on my safety meetings, it's always been Tuesday, Thursday. Right. Tuesday, Mission Impossible day because, operations is pushing you to get to that next pickup. Thursday or Friday, you're trying to finish your week early and you're rushing around doing the crazy thing. But yeah, Wednesday was very interesting. I'm working on the video or the safety meeting, and I said, boy, Wednesdays. And you're like, yeah, it's bad Wednesday. Right. But what kind of accidents are you seeing? Like, obviously we're not having any major accidents.
Nothing major. Biggest thing is getting out and look. As a reminder, always get out and look. It's the best thing for backing in anywhere. The next thing probably would be, be aware of your lights, your red lights, things like that. We had a couple of them. The next one probably would be, what would be the next one?
I think just the tight turns, the tail swing.
Yeah.
We get it, and I know that we're sending a lot of guys and girls into the cities, tight spots. I understand it's not necessarily recommended to be getting out when you're taking that turn to go walk in traffic. We're not telling you to put yourself at risk, but be aware of that tail swing. I mean, we've had a lot of tail swing accidents, and I understand some people think, it's kind of comical. You and I kind of chuckle to ourselves in frustration when we get the phone call. Well, I just scratched it. I just tapped it. I just bumped it. Well, that scratch, tap, or bump, thousands of dollars. So, and one thing, we want to make sure that they're still all reported to us. We are able to handle it. The worst thing that Bobby and I ever get is the phone call from the other party or the other property owner that we cause damage to. Right. And then we sound silly because we don't know. And when we don't know, it makes it sound like we have no control over anything and that we just don't care. And that's the absolute opposite of what it is. So when you bump something, just please pick up the phone right away and call myself or Bobby. We do continuously work with people. It is interesting. Like I said, I hear a lot of Bobby's conversations. And a big thing, like I always hear them say, why didn't we get out and look? Why didn't we get? Why are we in there so tight? Why are we not asking? And the other thing is when you get into a customer and it's tight, you got the parked cars. Take the time, ask the manager or the receiving clerk, hey, can we get these cars moved?
Right.
I understand you maybe you don't want to be that person to make that bad decision, but then that's when you reach out to Bobby or myself, and we go over to operations and get with customer service or whoever, and they make that phone call. We eliminate you, and it doesn't matter that they say, well, we have had 10 trucks already in here today. 9 times out of 10, they didn't. They just want you to be in a hurry and get in there. But in the end, when we bump and bruise it, we're paying for it. And so, definitely want to focus on that. But I mean, that's just really a whole round about what we're seeing. Right. A big thing. Keep in mind, the trailer shop, as you mentioned, the trailers are issues that you're seeing. The trailer shop is open, and we ask. It should be mandatory that every trailer you're bringing through comes through the drive-through bay, whether it's just because you're stopping to fuel or you're actually dropping it off here. Or really, if you're leaving a local warehouse, swing through here and have the trailer the trailer shop get a couple extra eyes on it, help you out. So overall, that's where we're at with that. I know everybody's really looking forward towards Monday. Schools are shut down, or at least early dismissal.
Getting out early. One school's they're staying late. Lewisburg's staying late. So they're extending their day.
Extending their day. You think maybe they start a 2-hour delay, like 2-hour delay, and then just stay late. So that way you don't have to. But I mean, it's crazy. I get it. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not one that gets all worked up about it. And, teach his own personal preference. I do know some people are taking off work. We in Milton are, I believe we're at 97.4. Right. What are they calling that? I don't even know what they're calling it when it's total coverage, whatever it's called. Anyway, but we're at 97.4 up near Erie, Buffalo area. They're going to be at 100%. So, what are we going to see? A ring. It'll be interesting to see. But, we do have a couple pointers for that. We want you guys. So there's a slideshow here that Granite, if he can overlay for us, so that way you can, how to prepare for the solar eclipse. Just a few things that we can do. Some small things. Definitely want to plan alternate routes. If you're going to be hitting... there's the end slide here shows you where it's going to be in the time frames, kind of. If you're going to be in that area at all, try and reroute yourself, so that way you're avoiding the heavy traffic.
Refuel early, you want to expect those delays. The delays are going to be there. They're talking different areas where they're calling in for hundreds of thousands of people to come in to watch this. So.
Yeah, I actually heard that there's some farmers up in New York that are renting out their farmland to park. Really? So that you can observe it. Yeah, quite interesting. But yeah, refueling is definitely a big thing because, those lots are going to fill up fast. Be mindful of distracted drivers. Like I said, if you're in the area, it's only supposed to be probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or two that actually is really relatively affected by it. So if you have to... just pull off yourself and go off duty just to take a break. Yeah, you get to enjoy it, but it's much safer to be off the road because there are going to be people driving and watching. So definitely want to make sure we're aware of them.
Also anticipate the limited parking. There'll be several drivers, they'll be ending, their day earlier, filling up lots, things like that. So you want to try to look for those parking spots earlier, in the day. Everyone's going to be traveling. There's going to be a lot more people out there. It'll definitely help you guys plan ahead on that one, instead of... hey, I'm running out of time. What do I do? Right. Plan ahead because it's going to be definitely a little different.
Yeah, and last but not least, a big tip would be pack some extra food this weekend before you leave out. They're anticipating that the grocery stores may have shortage of food, so if you pack an extra couple snacks, just because if they're again, distracted drivers lead to accidents, as we all know. If we end up being stuck on a highway from an accident that backs up and everything like that, we'd rather be prepared with extra snacks, extra food, and water. So, I mean, collectively, it's definitely, people say it's a chance once in a lifetime. Bobby and I both know someone, this is their third experience of an eclipse. Right. But we won't mention Julie's or her name. So something to look forward to. Enjoy with your kids if you have the time. But definitely don't stare at it. They're saying it'll obviously affect your eyes just like staring in the sun. So. Overall, that's where we're at this week. I'm glad that we, like to give a shout out. One thing we did miss last week. Last week was our 156th episode. What? So it's 3 solid years. And unfortunately, like I said, Chris is not here to celebrate that with me, but he celebrated it without me last week. Unknowingly, I guess it kind of slipped by us. But we enjoy this. We hope that we bring some enjoyment to all of you at home. And again, we can't do it without our sponsors. Patent Logistics Group, so Patent Warehousing, Patent Logistics, and Watsontown Trucking. Definitely, without their support and without the following of you guys, we wouldn't be here. So, again, before we go, I'd like to thank Bob for joining us.
Thank you.
Maybe he'll be on a little bit more, and we'll have him maybe one day run it all by himself when Chris and I aren't around. See how that goes. So,
See how it goes.
Until next week, be safe. Have a
Be
good week.
safe.